Stop the nukes now! 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 Stop the nukes now!
We're here today on June 11th, 2019 to protest the murder of Hoshino, to demand an end to the restart of nuclear plants in Japan, to demand that this criminal government of Abe be put on trial. They're war criminals.
There's this show on HBO right now, Chernobyl, a very timely show. And one of the main themes of the show is if you tell enough lies, you tell the same lies over and over and over, it becomes the truth. So basically Abe, TEPCO, and all the neoliberals in Japan, they're basically saying there's no problem, it's all cleaned up. You can go back to where you used to live. That's not true. So they want to do the Olympics there. They want to have baseball, so they want to basically place, I guess they want to play baseball there. They want to put baseball players in danger from all over the world. So basically they're guinea pigs to say, so they can say, oh, it's safe for Olympic baseball, so people can go back. Why not go? You can go back to live.
They're trying to sweep it under the rug. Basically.
That's what it is. It's a cover-up. So anyway, there's a show that we started watching, Chernobyl. I don't know, Steve, have you seen it?
Yeah, I heard it.
So anyway, like I say, one of the major themes of the show is you just lie over and over. This is what Trump does. He's taking it to a fine art, but all politicians do it. And the cover-up is in, like the gentleman said over here. So anyway, that's it. No nukes. No nukes.
My name is Yoko. So I was trying to find any article that, like academic article that said any relationship Fukushima nuclear radiation and children's thyroid cancer, and I couldn't find many of them. And most articles are written by same professor, and then said there is no relationship between thyroid cancer and radiation was leaking from Fukushima. And then I was just researching this professor, like a group of professors from Nagasaki University. They're chosen to do some research from government or some like maybe TEPCO, and then so they all concluded there is no relationship, which is not true. But that's what government tried to do. They tried to manipulate some academic research, and they pick somebody just to listen to government want, and then have some conclusion that government want, and then make everybody believe there is no relationship between cancer and radiation, but which is not true. Many people getting sick, and then there's no food to grow. There's no edible food to grow in Fukushima. And people in Fukushima or neglected. They're forced to move back to their land, which is very contaminated. And I was just very...
We are here every month, 11th of the month, to protest against Japanese government, which is restarting the nuclear power plant one by one. Even though we had a disaster after the earthquake of March 11th, 2011.
Give them a raise!
With that disaster, the people who used to live there can no longer go back. They lost their land, which inherited for generation after generation, very fertile, rich land. However, they can no longer go back to their own land. They have to live in a temporary housing or have to go away, if they are lucky, far away from Fukushima. Now with this kind of conditions, and we have another probably 50 more nuclear power plants, which one time it was shut down after the earthquake. It's now government allowing to restart one by one. Next, if we get another earthquake next time, what's going to happen? It may destroy entire Japan. This is this kind of situation we're in. However, they don't care. Now, today, I would like to say, not just opposing the nuclear power plant, but another issue, which is the political prisoners is being repressed and framed up and being jailed and killed. One of the political prisoners is Fumiaki Hoshino, who was framed up and charged with one police officer was killed in I think it was the 1971 demonstration against Okinawa militarization, and he was one police officer was killed, and he was being flamed and being jailed for 43 years or so. And through those years, he even complained about the physical conditions, and they didn't take care of him until they finally found out that he had stage 4 cancer, I think it's a liver cancer, and suddenly he was transported to a jail hospital in Tokyo. And then he was a stage 4 and about 4-inch diameter cancer in the liver. And they said there might be some chance they're able to survive. So they did the operation, took it out, but bleeding was so heavy, and because of the bleeding, he died. He was actually, in my opinion, he was killed. It could be prevented if they found out sooner, or maybe they found out sooner, however, they kept it hidden from him and from his family, and left it until stage 4 cancer suddenly they said found out. My opinion, he was killed. All those years, people all over Japan, not only Japan, but the other part of the world are trying to fight for him to prove that he was innocent. However, all those years of struggle is now gone. I feel so bad about him and his family and all those supporters who've been fighting for him, and so angry about the government, prisoner system, political system. It shouldn't be should not be happening this way. So we're going to continue to fight for any other political prisoners who are innocently jailed and charged with and put in inhumane condition in the jail with no hope. So we have to continue to fight.
Thank you. We are here protesting the imperialistic government of Japan use of nuclear power. Not only because it's dangerous, not only that because it has been proven that nuclear energy is one of the most unsafe ways of energizing a country or a society. But also we are here to protesting Japanese imperialism. Japan is a junior partner of the United States in terms of exploiting the working class in Asia and around the world. Japan have massive multinational corporations that have hundreds of workers in the third world, billions of workers in the third world working for low-paying salaries. Companies like Toyota, Honda, and all these transnational multinational corporations. Japan has also a banking industry as big as any industry such as the United States, and also collaborates with the United States in its imperialist military drive to isolate China. Not too long ago, a month ago, Japan, which had previously acquired one of the most modern fighter bombers that have ever been built, the F-35, produced by the United States, had an accident in Japan. And that F-35 is an extremely expensive aircraft. One of the most expensive in the world. It's the most modern fighter bomber. And why Japan needs these fighter bombers is obviously to threaten China and North Korea, and to help the United States establish its collaboration with the Japanese capitalist class and the American capitalist class in exploiting workers in Japan and in around the world. We know as the hardships that the people of Okinawa face due to the American occupation of Okinawa with multiple military bases, that the people in Okinawa dislike, despise, and want to come to an end. They want to see the end of the joint United States-Japan occupation of their land, and the dangers that such a massive military hardware is amassed over there in that small island. I am identified with the struggle of the people of Okinawa against the United States military, because I'm from Puerto Rico, and we still to this day are fighting to get the remaining military bases that are still in Puerto Rico, which the people would like to leave the island forever. We kicked them out a couple years ago of the United States' largest naval installation in the Caribbean basin, the complex of Roosevelt Roads Vieques training bombing site. And still we got a lot of work to do. But all these things that I'm talking about will end when we in the working class around the world, not only in Japan or in the United States and in the United States, but also around the world, and form bodies and organizations that can fight the real root of this problem, which is the capitalist system. That is the real root of this problem. The arms industry that produces all this weaponry that I was talking about, they are capitalist enterprises. You know, the United States, these corporations that manufacture planes, vehicles, are such as Ford, Boeing, and McDouglas. I even forgot the name. Whatever. McDonnell Douglas, which builds military aircraft. Those corporations are capitalist enterprises. And as long as they remain under the capitalist property, they will continue going on their drive for war and to make profits at the expense of the sweat of the working class people of the world. So, down with the Japanese imperialist capitalist class and its reactionary government, and down with the United States imperial power and its capitalist enterprises and capitalist class. For victory for the working class internationally. Thank you.
Thank you, Ricardo. Big picture of these. Hoshino's struggle, the struggle against war and militarization. The reason Hoshino was really targeted was he was an activist, he was a leader in the fight against the U.S.-Japanese military agreement. What benefit has Japan had from the U.S.-Japanese military agreement? What's happened in Japan is that there's greater militarization. The bases in Okinawa are killing people. There are rapes in Okinawa by U.S. military troops. Is that helping the people of Okinawa? Is that helping the people of Japan? When people are terrorized, if you've been to Okinawa, you know that these planes and these helicopters, these dangerous helicopters, are flying over communities every day. And children have schools near them, and they're terrified. Parts of the planes and helicopters fall off. So this is a threat to the health and safety of the people of Okinawa, the people of the world. That's what Fumiaki Hoshino was opposing. He was opposing the militarization. He was opposing the wars of the United States, bombing of Vietnam, bombing of countries around Asia. Are we protecting the people of Asia, these U.S. military bases? What are they about? Are they protecting people? No, they're about U.S. control of these countries. They want colonies, like Okinawa is a colony, like Puerto Rico is a colony. They want to exploit the people of the world. And this is really what the United States and Abe about. And Abe is a junior partner of Trump and the U.S. government, but his role has been to support the U.S. military. The people of the world have had enough. The people of the world don't want another world war. The people of the world don't want the militarization of Asia, which is the position of Pelosi here in San Francisco and the U.S. Congress. Why is the United States spending trillions of dollars on war when people are sleeping on the street, when people can't get health care, when kids graduate from college and they owe $100,000? They're paupers, they're literally paupers because they can't get public funding to go to school. Where's the money going? It's going to war profiteers. It's going to Lockheed Martin. It's going to Boeing and other companies. That's where the money is going. And that's what Abe, the Prime Minister, wants. He wants to remilitarize Japan. He wants Mitsubishi selling war material around the world. He wants Japan to have nuclear weapons. They're violating the Article 9 of the Japanese Constitution by military maneuvers. That's illegal. But apparently, like Trump, they don't care about the laws. They don't care about the rules. They feel that they have a free hand. So we're saying that they should be criminally prosecuted. Hoshino shouldn't have been in jail. Abe should have been in jail.
Yeah.
It's like Trump should be in jail. Trump is a war criminal for what he's done. And this is a struggle that we have to make because the people of the world are demanding justice. They're demanding an end to war. They're demanding an end to radioactive material. These communities where these nuclear plants are poor communities. People have been bribed by TEPCO and these companies to say that they're safe. No, they aren't safe. In fact, the Fukushima plant investigator, Kei Sugiako, went there. He worked for GE, and he found that Sugaoka found that they had serious safety problems. He videotaped it, and they told him to edit his videotape so people wouldn't know about it. And you know, this is what's going on. They're not telling people about the dangers of these radioactive plants. Many of these plants are 40 and 50 years old. They're dangerous and should be shut down, but they keep them running. The government of Japan and the government of the United States continue to give licenses for these plants to continue to operate. What we're saying is they need solar power, they need water power from the oceans, but they shouldn't be using nuclear power, which threatens the world. The other thing is that former prime ministers Koizumi and Khan are against restarting the nuclear plants. Why? Because another nuclear meltdown in Japan could destroy the whole country. That's why. It's a threat to the whole country. Japan as a country can be destroyed. So this insanity by the Abe government must be opposed. Justice for Hoshino!
Justice for Hoshino! Justice for Hoshino! Justice for Hoshino!